Oh, you know what time it is. Check your watch. Check your stopwatch. Did you make sure you put it forward for daylight saving time? It's me, Summer Rayne, here for another episode of the Skittle Sesh. I'm so excited. We finally get to see another queen go home on another episode of RuPaul's Drag Race US Season 13. But without further ado, I have my extra special, extra lovey-dovey elixir mixer co-host.
Thanks, Summer. I'm so happy to talk about this episode. It was a fun one, a little makeover. Speaking of makeovers, get used to this boy face because it's going to be gone here in a second. Summer's going to do a little number on me. But before we get to that, we also want to introduce our special guest, Kimber Shade. Welcome, Kimber.
And I am Kimber Shade, bitches. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Kimber, for joining us. I'm super excited to talk about the Makeover Challenge. This season 13 girls are fun, and we're like 20 episodes in, and like 2 girls have gone home. So like this is the season that never ends. It's awesome. How are you enjoying the season so far?
Well, first and foremost, let me say hello. I am Kimber K Shade, and I have been waiting all season for this episode and to be here with the Scandal Sesh, honey. What was the question?
How do you feel about this season?
I love it. This season, I feel like, though it's been very, very long, I've really enjoyed getting to know the queens and knowing a little bit more about them, not like the sob story, but more about their talent.
Yeah, we definitely have got to see more, like even Kimora that went home first, we saw more of her than we normally would of like Pork Chop or whatever. But speaking of getting to know the queens, let's get to know you a little bit. Kimber, tell us about where Kimber came from, and then like how Kimber got to where she's at, and also how do people find Kimber?
Oh, great questions. Okay, so it all started when this crater hit the earth, and it was my space capsule because I'm an alien. Yes, greetings, Earthlings. My name is Kimber K Shade. So I started out in drag here in Portland, actually, about 10 years ago. I'm sure you can Google me and find that story somewhere, so I won't repeat that. But I've been doing it for, 10 years, and it's led me into my love of makeup and my love of art, and my love of talking shit on the side.
You talk shit? I don't think I've ever heard any.
Never.
So where can people find you? Like Instagram, Facebook, have any shows coming up?
82nd Avenue. No, I'm kidding. You can definitely find me on all of the social media websites. I'm like every other bot in this community. Instagram, my name is made up by Henry. You can find me on Facebook under Henry Felton. You can also search Kimber K Shade and find some really great pornos. Upcoming shows. I'm doing a bingo show this month, March 25th at Spud Monkeys in Gresham. It's going to be a really nice, beautiful, socially distanced event. You can book your table by calling Spud Monkeys or contacting me. And then I'm also doing a show at the local on April. I'll have to get back to you. I think it's April 4th. It's either the 1st or the 4th, but I get it mixed up because it's April Fool's Day in there somewhere. And it's going to be at the local. It's on a Sunday, also socially distanced and also fun. So, come on down, girls.
I'll be there, April Fools.
Yeah, I don't know. And you know what? They could have even just booked me as a joke because it was April Fool's, but hey, I'm going to show up.
Well, let's talk about this season. So last week, Elliot finally went home.
Thank God.
Were you an Elliot fan, Kimber?
Elliot with 3 Ks? Absolutely not.
Yeah, actually, like, let's get into that a little. Do you want to talk about where you think Elliot's at now versus like where the comments were originally made, and how do you feel about this?
So what I'll say is this, as a drag queen, we all have platforms, right? And we choose what we want to do with our platform. Choosing to ignore how our platform hurts or damages someone else is not okay. So why I said Elliot with 3Ks is because the behavior displayed is everything that we fought against last year during the BLM movement. It was about actually listening to what the Black voices and what the BIPOC voices had to say and not how they were saying it. And I feel like, you know, Elliot, since being on Drag Race, has made comments in 2021 that still shows the lack of understanding and the lack of research, which means I need to reference you and I need to check you every time your name is said, because it's not fair that you get to walk around with privilege. And I mean, this episode, we'll get into it later, but this episode is a clear example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for going on a rant.
No, you have every right. And honestly, like, I will never know how those damaging words like feel, but I will say, like, listening and hearing what's been happening, I was just surprised that, like, because those comments were made over a year ago and she's had plenty of time to apologize and to like show her actions are improving and do better. But then, like, just when she got kicked off, she did an interview with, I think it was like Entertainment Weekly or something. And instead of apologizing, still, like, she's talking about when she said that Simone's drag was not aggressive. And instead of apologizing, what she's now saying is, oh, well, they don't understand because I was comparing her to Eureka. And it's like, no, you're still making excuses. What, like, how many different ways do you have to be told they don't want to hear an excuse? Apologize, like, figure out how to move on and be better. Like, that's what's just shocking to me, is because, like, it's not just this is happening live and we're attacking her as it's happening live. This happened over a year ago and she's been told for a year now and she's still not doing better.
Yeah, and that's why it's damaging and a little hurtful, because it's like, come on, girl, like, you have the, I feel like instead of just being humble and saying, you know what, I made a mistake, or, you know, I have a lot of room to grow, she's like doubling down on, you know, saying that's not what I meant. And it doesn't matter what you meant. What you did was, you know, paint a certain picture. And, you know, thank God for the editing of Drag Race, and thank God for, you know, Drag Race in general, because these are real life things that all of us BIPOC people go through. And sometimes it's hard to explain, you know, to people, but then when they see it on Drag Race, they get it. So through it all, you know, I'm grateful that we are able to have this example of behavior of how not to act. And I hope, you know, thoughts and prayers, thoughts with a T, out to Elliot. I hope that she gets it.
Let's hope so. And let's hope season 14, we see much more like growth, and like every single learning episode is compounded on. And sometimes it's hard for me to focus with a brush in my face.
I've heard that before.
So speaking of queens that have gone home besides Elliot, were there any others that have gone home that like were your favorites or that you want to talk about before we get into the queens that are left?
What was her name? Lalaurie. Oh my God.
Oh, I love
her.
Lala. She was
I loved her.
beautiful.
Gorgeous, talented, fighter, all that. I can't wait to see her on All Stars. I think that, you know, they must be running out of girls or something to put on this show, because she was really new. Well, I mean, maybe that just speaks to her talent.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, as the series goes on, all of these queens come on to the show Do you think there's going to be enough things out there for them to do? I mean, is there going to be a royalty fee? Are they still going to get paid? What if there's too many queens, not enough gigs? Who goes where?
Well, definitely at some point, I think it's going to lower. I mean, like, I remember when Jinx won season 5, I think that the going rate for booking a queen was around $1,000 from Drag Race. And then by Adore's season, it quickly jumped, because like between season 5 and season 6 is when like it really hit super fandom. And I think right around there, it went from about $1,000 to $3,000. And then by season 9, I know that they were going for upwards of like 6,000 to 10,000. I don't even know what it's at now, but at some point it's going to get to a point where it will definitely have to start coming back down, because it's like, I mean, season 8 there was 100 queens, right? So like now there's almost 200 queens, and there's a lot of them that like aren't even like getting booked anymore. So eventually, like, some of these queens that are not getting booked enough, they're going to start lowering their rates. It's definitely like the supply and demand curve has got to meet somewhere.
100%. I see what you mean. I think that at first Drag Race was nice because it was, you know, underground, and it's kind of been watered down a little bit over the years, which leads me to, I feel like, you know, with like Camp Wanakiki, Dragula, and several other shows that are coming out now. I know Tanisha Iman is doing a drag show on live stream, that, you know, RuPaul doesn't have the monopoly on drag, right? So it'll be interesting to see where the culture goes now that it's caught on a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this week's challenge, or this week's mini challenge, I guess it wasn't really a mini challenge so much as a mini read. They were transferred to Char Margolis, is that her name?
Margolis?
Yeah. Some Los Angeles psychic to give them a little reading. Are you guys a fan of the supernatural? Are you a believer?
I'm a total witch. Give me some acid.
Have you seen The Skeleton Key?
Oh, yes.
I don't believe. And I say that because if you've seen The Skeleton Key, you understand that even if you do believe a little bit, you're fucked. So I'm not believing.
I love the supernatural, total believer. And I'm definitely into, I mean, it was so cool to listen to Shargo say like, Shargo, oh my God. She has a name already. I love that she was like, called Rose and Denali out. Do you guys have a crush on each other? What's going on? There's some kind of crush going on. And then Tina with her father. And then Clara the cow with Utica. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was so fun.
Do you think any of that was like set up?
Oh, you know for sure that the producers fill her in on some stuff. But then even some of the stuff that might not have been filled in on, like with the cow thing, she said, are any of you from like the farmland? And then Utica says, yeah. And then she's like, I see a cow. And Utica's like, I had a cow. Of course she had a cow. She's from the farmland. Like, I feel like it was just like, she knows how to read. Like that's one of those things that they do, is they know how to drag out what they want to drag out.
The most common farm animal cow name is circa the 2019 census that we went to all farms across the United States. Clara was the #1 name, so she could have got that.
But she also didn't even say Clara. She said a C. Is there a C word? And then they got to Clara. Like, they helped fill in the blanks for her. I am not personally a believer, but I am also of the mindset that I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. And like, if you want to believe in Jesus, you pray to Jesus. If you want to talk to the dead, you talk to the dead. If you want to do spells and pray over crystal, whatever gets you through. Because, I mean, like Denali in her interview, her exit interview, she said like, kind of the same thing. She doesn't believe, but like, if you are a believer, you're going to manifest it in your life. So like, you have to believe in something, and like that's going to give you the will to do what you need to do to make your life the way you want it. And then those things are going to help affirm your beliefs. So
I just getting into Game of Thrones. They all are into the old gods and the new gods. Their strong faith got them to where they needed to be. It's all about the faith, honey. Yeah. Just give me
Keep
the
the
faith.
faith.
Gotta keep the faith.
faith. Oh, I thought we were going into George Michael. I mean, my face is turning into George Michael, right?
That's right.
Amazing.
Mullet and all.
So we know that Summer's gonna do well on the makeover challenge.
She is ready. Am I gonna win?
Yes.
You're gonna make it to the second episode. They're not gonna kick you off first.
Okay, so Shar pairs them up, and we've got Tina and Rose, Simone and Utica, Denali and Olivia, and then Candy and Gottmik. I mean, Candy and Gottmik are like the closest friends, so it definitely worked. Like, I guess it didn't work for them, but like it did. If you were paired up, out of those 8, who would you want to be paired up with?
Oh, 100%. I would have went with Candy or Gottmik, my makeup artist sisters, and I would have been like,
Thank you. I'm totally
let's
there
just
for you.
let's just knock this out real quick. I think that was the smartest. Like, even though they were polar opposites, you know, skin tone, size, and drag, I think that I would have naturally went with one of them.
Okay, so they kept like on the critiques, like Candy went off saying that they had the hardest to do. But do you think that that's true? Because honestly, I like you said skin tones. I think that like Utica and Simone had like the hardest. Like they're used to working with a certain set of colors, and like when you go into the makeover challenge, you never know who you're going to be making over. So you should be bringing outfits that are like a caftan that fits everyone, or like something stretchy. Like, I don't feel like size is really that big of a factor as much as like the palette. Because like the biggest part of the challenge is the face, right?
I mean, yes, 100%. And so I can see why you would feel like Candy and Gottmik had a little bit more of an upper hand because they are makeup artists. But if you think about their styles of drag, they're complete polar opposites. And that also mirrors Simone and Utica, who I also loved. However, you can make something, you can take something in all day. You can't make fabric just appear out of nowhere. So I see what you're saying where you're like, oh, you should just bring something bigger. But it's like, I would have never thought to do that.
Well, I know Monet said on her season, she brought the same outfit in like 3 different sizes. And I've heard a couple of, I can't remember last season, but whoever it was that won, I think it was like some kind of outfit that was definitely like built to fit whoever. Like, I think that it's something, because they give you a list of what you need to bring. And like, you don't necessarily use everything that they tell you to bring, but it's not like a surprise. They're not like, oh my gosh, out of nowhere, you have to figure this out. Like, they all had a fascinator with them. That's not a surprise that they had to make a fascinator.
Well, much like the Snatch game, every year you're gonna have a makeover challenge too.
Yeah. And like they also, the girls that only bring one Snatch game sometimes get screwed, but like most of the girls have backups. Like, once again, I just recently listened to Denali's exit interview. So I know that she said that she had 3 different backups. She had 4 different outfits ready to go. So if any of them didn't work, she was prepared. Like, if you're going to win, come prepared.
Well, for me, it's hands down an easy decision. I'm going as Rihanna all day, every day.
Yes.
What look would you do?
Several. I would have several different wigs. We'd have to give you several different outfits. And there's a piece of it that, you know, I can't reveal it now for the girls, you know what I'm saying? But it's Rihanna all day.
Well,
You can tell a story with Rihanna, you know?
a couple of the past guests have talked about wanting to do a Portland Snatch game again. Can we count on Kimber to bring some Rihanna to a Portland Snatch game?
Absolutely not, but I'll bring my number 2 choice. I'm telling you, my Rihanna is gonna win RuPaul's Drag Race, so I can't bring her out.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So you have a backup ready.
You don't have to put on mascara.
You want me to put my own mascara?
I don't want to hurt your eye.
I mean, I think that I have to have a mirror to do this, right?
I love this.
I don't want to hurt your eyes.
Tilt your head back.
Oh my God, maybe I should.
Place your thumb on his lid so it stabilizes it. There it is. Yes, get to the base of those lashes. Oh, mascara is my favorite part. This really turns you into the caricature of a woman. It's all about the base of the lash.
I was a bit
thought that-
nervous for you to cut. I don't know if she was actually going to go through with it or not.
For me, in the workroom, I just felt like they were playing. They were, you know, I felt like they were giving you that drama because they were gonna slay it. You know what I mean? And again, as far as the
So that's what I thought.
why I feel like they had Utica and Simone had an easier chance than Candy and Gottmik is because Simone's character is still a little bit goofy. So Utica just had to like be goofy in a different way. Going from being high fashion, amazing cover art to Banshee Bronx Girl is very, very difficult.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about since we just talked about how Elliot hasn't learned anything and continues to. Utica seems to be the exact opposite. She's very aware and she wants to be very sensitive to the movement and what's going on. And like, how do you feel about Simone's or Utica's concerns?
Well, you know, it's nice. It's better to be concerned than to not care, right? So we love that. But that Bob Ross was a fail, honey. She should have just worn that afro and kept it moving.
It looked like she was chewing on your hair for a moment. Or like, well, had some of your lipstick or something.
So let's talk about the pairs. Like, let's talk about the first two, Tina Burner and Rose.
Rose killed it. I always say that for everybody. But she embodied Tina over the top.
Okay, were we watching the same episode of Drag Race, sweetie? Because I killed it in Rose. No, ma'am, not for me. But I think they gave it a valiant effort. However, I think it exposed both of their areas of opportunity in drag.
Yeah.
Wait, out of the two, which one, if you had to pick one to be in the top and one to be in the bottom?
Tina was in the top for me and Rose was in the bottom. Did you see Tina's face? No, ma'am.
Oh, God.
Wait, but so
No,
who are you
ma'am.
judging though? Because are you saying, because I agree that Tina looked better or looked more like Rose, but shouldn't that give Rose the win? Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. Tina's face looked awful.
okay.
Yeah, so Rose like didn't even, and for me, and this is just an assumption, knowing the type of drag queen that Rose is and the gigs that she's gotten, I wouldn't be surprised if she also has a makeup artist. Right? And so what she did to Tina's face, I'm like, oh, no, no, no. She didn't even do the highlight on her chin. She left her, no.
I mean, I think that they were both pretty terrible, but I was just curious as to who you would have picked.
I have a special place for Tina Burner. What about you, Summer? Who you think?
I don't know. I like Rose. I think she's hot. I saw these pictures floating around the NSFW interwebs, girl. I can't get those pictures out of my mind. I actually think I had a dream about Candy last night. But out of those two, I mean, definitely Tina looked better than Rose, makeup shop wise. But out of the, I mean, I'm glad that they're safe. I don't think that they were in the top or in the bottom.
Oh my God, you know who you look like?
Who?
Diana Fire. Oh my God. You could be her sister for sure.
We're gonna be the little Diana Fire sisters.
Oh, you should be Perla Ice.
Ooh. Open up this eye. Wait, no. Okay, open up that. Nope. Definitely not there either.
Okay, so, and then the next group, we had Utica and Simone. After some concern, they decided to pull it together. I was really, like, Utica was concerned about the Bats look, but I was really concerned about Simone wearing that weird skin thing. Like, that was a very interesting choice, but it turned out great.
I thought so too. You could do anything with some fabric on a runway. So that wasn't a concern for me. It was more so like Utica explaining the outfit. Like, that didn't make any sense.
Well, I'm happy she didn't go with the thing that opens up her jaw. You know, I would love to see Simone's pearly white, but Simone was like, no. Oh my God. But I mean, it definitely.
I love how patient Utica was. Sorry, I love how patient Utica was when she was explaining about it. She was like, this goes here and this is how this goes. And yes.
And decolletage,
Like,
face and mouth.
So they were the winners. But if you had to pick just one winner, who would have been the winner?
Utica. She looked, and I think she sold it so well, in my opinion.
for me, it would have been not on that team. It would have been Candy Muse all day.
Well, let's get to them. So Gottmik and Candy. Gottmik did her clown face on Candy. And you think that Candy's look was the best, so Gottmik's painting was better?
I thought that first of all, I thought that Candy painting on Gottmik was divine. And I thought that they made a whole new outfit. They sewed it, took it in, all that stuff. So for me, I was like, she went over the top for the challenge. And I think it got missed because of Gottmik's makeup is dramatic, right? Like, it's something that is eye-catching. And so we didn't care as much because Candy looked like a clown, a pretty clown.
Right.
But when Gottmik took the sunglasses off, she hardly had an eye. Like, her makeup just didn't seem like. I feel like if she wasn't wearing the sunglasses, there wasn't much there.
I disagree. I thought based on.
Here for you to challenge me. It's okay.
Well, I have to say this, based on where Gottmik is in his femininity, I think that Candy did a good job of what they represent. And so for me, it wasn't appropriate to do a half cut crease, all these things. It was more appropriate to do a simple makeup that was the character. I don't know. That's me making an excuse, maybe a justification, but I think that it would have played too much into femininity if Candy went hard on the makeup. So I thought it was good.
See, I definitely agree that Candy looked like Gottmik, but I didn't see Candy in Gottmik at all. Like, if
You didn't see the racket?
the racket?
The racket. The like, you know, the hood, the
Brooklyn,
the Brooklyn, the street, the Bronx.
biting her finger.
I don't know. I guess I just didn't see it.
Okay, Elliot. So, and a lot of that probably speaks to, you know, what people don't understand about Candy's drag. And that is the fact that, you know, where Candy is from, drag and what drag means to her is, you know, not only being the characteristic of a woman, but it's being a powerful woman. And the powerful woman in her life is like her mom, right? And so if you think about that, like most BIPOC POC moms are like hardcore and like they'll beat your ass.
Right.
And so if that's her inspiration, just to, like that's what she's embodying on stage, and there's nothing wrong with that. I salute it, right? So it comes off different when you pair her with somebody like a Gottmik, who her inspiration is Paris Hilton, right? It's just a whole different feeling.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I do think that Gottmik did really well trying to give us that the candy caricature.
Well, then
but I still would have picked Candy for the winner.
we have one more.
Shut up.
One,
I'm just kidding.
One more couple. The best couple of them all, Denali and Olivia.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Oh,
Overstretched.
I think they were like vibing too much and forgot that it was a competition.
Yeah, they spent a little too much time kikiing and not too much time like actually doing it.
And if you ask me, Olivia set Denali up because Olivia knew that they loved her and she didn't have to do much to win that lip sync.
Right. I don't know though. That lip sync though, I think that. Wait, who did go home?
Denali.
Denali. I think that Denali sold it better though.
Here's my thing. We done seen how many 13 seasons of Drag Race or something like that? Girl, if you gonna wear a gown, it better be a tearaway.
Yeah.
You can't do a fast number in a gown. She did her best, but I'd have ripped it off. I'd rather perform it naked than have a gown on and go home.
Right.
I mean, that lip sync to me didn't stand out. Like, I don't feel like it'll be one we talk about.
No.
So I don't think there was really a clear-cut winner. I think that she kind of just based it on like Olivia's had more wins. So, but who did you want to see go?
I would have sent Olivia home, regardless of her wins. I don't think that she has shown us enough originality. I think she does drag really, really well, but you know, I want to see something that she's come up with herself.
I agree.
Yeah, I can get that. I also just didn't think Denali, like, I didn't think either one of them like have really shown like stand out. But I will say that Olivia's given moments where I'm just like, she has star potential, and Denali has like production potential, I feel like, but I don't know if she had what I don't think there's never been a moment in the season where I'm like, I think Denali's gonna win. There has been moments where I thought Denali will be in the top, but Olivia's given me moments where I'm like, Olivia could win this. That's mine.
I mean, I could see that. I also could see that Denali was giving me a little Fifi O'Hara moments. Like, I think that they edited a lot of her bitchiness out, and because they didn't want to make her look like she was like having a temper tantrum on national television, you know, because like, let's go back a couple episodes when she was like upset for being safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that there was probably like more to that, and probably more to why she went home, in my opinion.
Yeah. So overall, like, was there any shocks this episode? Like, I know that you wanted Candy to win, but did anything shock you? Is there anything that you want to talk about from the makeovers?
Well, it was shocking to me is just the response. I mean, we all saw it on the runway when, you know, Candy popped off. And I think in previous seasons, if she would have done that, that would have been like a moment where Candy would have went home. But because we live in a world now in 2021 where we're listening with our ears, you know, I think that she was heard about what she had to say in regards to what Denali said about her. So, that to me was a shocking moment and made me feel like, oh wow, maybe there is hope for Kimber Shade on Drag Race.
Yeah, I can see that. The only thing I thought that was shocking about that though was Denali said it about Candy, but Candy attacked Olivia. So I was like, what? Like, I was very confused by how what Denali said about Candy made Candy mad at at Olivia. Like, Candy didn't attack Denali. I don't know.
Was she mad at Olivia? I felt like she was just mad at their group in general. Like, don't throw shade over here when you look like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was very directed towards Olivia, but I also thought it was funny in the Untucked when they were done. Like, all these girls were having like this moment, like where they're like, "Oh, poor Candy. She got one person said that she should go home, and one person said Denali should go home, and one person there was one other girl that, like, but they were all like apologizing to them, but not one person was like, oh, poor Olivia. Like, everybody else said you should go home. Like, she was attacked the most. Like, she's probably like beaten down, and like nobody was comforting her. No one was like concerned at all. They're like, oh yeah, you deserve that. But like the rest of us, let's make sure we all feel better about each other now.
Do you know why that is?
Yeah.
Olivia is the newest in drag. Like, this girl like started drag like a year ago. Of course I want her out of here.
Right.
Get out.
Denali only started 2 years ago.
Get out.
Get them all out. Make room for us.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And Perla.
And Perla.
Yeah. So
Talking about
where are we at in
Perla.
this makeover challenge?
We have to go get changed. We're ready for the reveal. We need a drum roll here, ladies and gentlemen. On this special episode, we have made it till the end. We are ready to reveal. This is Perla Rayne.
Woo! Hey everybody, Perla Rayne here. Big, sassy, and beautiful.
Big sassy and frassy.
What do you think, Kimber? Do we have some family resemblance here? Do you see the Rayne girls?
100%, girl. You are bringing the rain, honey. I love what you did, Summer. And I was paying attention. I couldn't figure out how to get the depth in my beard. I saw that liquid lipstick, honey. Yes, I was feeling all the tips. This is fantastic.
Please get your very own. Here, I'll do a little marketing on Amazon. Please get your very own spoolie. That is the perfect way to really get it into the beard.
Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. You look great, Perla Rayne.
Perla looks so good. Perla Rayne.
Thanks for this makeover. Now are you going to be there every time I'm ready to go out to get this face again?
Just give Mama a call.
Right. Once COVID's over, Perla Rayne's ready to perform. Watch out, Portland.
That's right. We'll catch us next week on another episode of the Scandal Sesh. Thank you so much, Kimber Shade, for joining us.
Yeah, this was a fun episode. It was fun to have you here, getting your feedback. So now that we're one less queen, Denali's gone. Out of these 7, who's Kimber? Team
Candy Muse all day.
Team Candy.
And
Oh
also,
my God, no. You're the only one in that boat, girl.
she's
Summer,
gonna win.
where do you stand now? Where are you at?
Oh, where am I at? I don't know. I'm still with the Simone. Simone. I'm
Yeah.
with my girl. She's really bringing it for me, really opening my eyes to Black culture. I love it.
I'm really hoping that bottom two really lights the fire on Olivia, and I'm gonna be Team Olivia still. I definitely am a fan of Simone. I would love to see Utica like make it a little bit farther, but yeah, I'm Team Olivia.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for joining us. This is such a fun week. Perla's ready to go. Thanks, Kimber. Anything else you want to let our viewers know before you sign off? Any other shows, or where do they tip you?
You're welcome.
Where do they tip you?
Oh, 82nd Avenue.
Not that tip.
Oh, you know, find me on all the cash apps, all the webs. You know, if you want to give me money, you'll find me.
Thanks again so much.
Bye.
Bye.
I got my little pen.
Summer Rayne, I just think that you are the most vanilla girl out there. I never think that you do anything bad.
Oh, girl, find me on the Eagle at a good night, baby, by the trough. I'm ready.
Oh my God, not the Eagle. Okay, so wait, if before this interview, if they were like, you know, all the drag queens in Portland are a mess, who's gonna babysit? I would have been like, oh, Summer Rayne.
I mean, yeah.
Because like, you know, you're like responsible and shit.
I can't be responsible on Sunday, but then Saturday night, the night
Yeah, and it's interesting that you linked up with Perry, who happens to be the biggest shit talker drag queen, not drag queen in the city.
Well, someone has to be the yin to my yang.
I live. Perry gets the girls together. Perry's like Portland's super fan of drag, and like nothing slides by Perry.